Welcome to Toffee TV. Me and Baz had the pleasure last night to go to the gala premiere of Howard's Way, the new fantastic film by Rob Sloman. All about Everton between 1983 and 1987, with a little bit of 60s thrown in, a little bit of 70s thrown in, just to give you the feel of it, just to help understand the story. First of all, your thoughts on the film itself?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Emotional, frustrating,
yes,
and amazing. All well,
amazing twice.
It was amazing twice because it was everything that I remember as a kid in the 80s of being, growing up, and then but also how close we were to being unreal.
No,
and I mean claiming everything, and that's the thing that was frustrating.
I thought as a film it worked really well paced. Skips along nicely. Sometimes it skips along too nicely.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but
too much.
What you got to remember is it's not a season review video. It's a story about the time and about what Howard Kendall put together and the plays involved in it. It isn't a season review video. No. It's not going to show you every goal of every game. It's going to show you goals that meant something or a story builds up to. So don't expect to see every single goal from every single game. It's a story of how this all become. So I think that's important to know. And there was moments where you're like, oh, I wish they would have showed that goal, or a bit more of that. But the point is, it's not, it isn't a season review video. It is very touching. There's a lot of moments, especially the Colin Harvey moments are really, really, because obviously someone who's so close to Howard Kendall, and that's good. But also the way people talked about Colin Harvey as well was massively important. The sound bites from people like Mick Lyons, I think, were really important as well, just to get an understanding of the frustration. Obviously, Dave really was like the fans narrator all the way through it. And I spoke to Dave afterwards, and he was like, oh, I didn't expect to be in it that much. And I was like, yeah, but you're the through line, you're the fan, you're the eyes and the ears of the fans in it. And sometimes what happens in things, especially documentaries, is you move away from a central theme, and suddenly you don't get a consistent story. So that was important. What I thought was very, very surreal, by the way, was I sat next to Jimmy Ball, Alan Ball's son, for the entire thing, and we were chatting and stuff. Big blue. Actually, I didn't know he was that much of a blue. I knew he was a blue, but I didn't know he was that much of a blue since I was. And what was strange was, there's a sequence in the film which is about his dad, right? And I'm sitting next to him, thinking, what is this man thinking? Dave is part of that story, and your son's playing Dave. And I was like, what a weird set of events this is. Like, and I wasn't just I just sat down, and Jimmy Ball just happened to sit next to me. He was looking for somewhere to sit, as I was, and we just sat down. He sat next to me. I thought, what a weird set of events this is. Sometimes, sometimes life is weird. Life is weirder than fiction at times. But no, you're right. It does pull on the heartstrings, but also just a really good narration on the city at the time. Keith Mullen done an absolutely fantastic job with the music. And what's so good about it is that there's bits where you just want the music to continue, and it doesn't. It drops out very quickly. So Keith has done the music brilliantly, and it just reminds me at times. It does remind me at times of some of those video compilations where you just get a little snippet of and then it brings you back into the story, and I really enjoyed it. But as you said, it's frustrating as well.
It is. I mean, you're right. The start of it builds you up nicely, and obviously you're saying it's surreal. You want to sit there and watch your little lad running down the street, and everyone's watching it on a big screen. It was like, because Robert asked me when he was in here a few weeks ago, and he said, do you want to see the bit with Drachen? And I was like, nah, I'll wait. And I'm glad. And I had my dad next to me, so that was quite. I suppose that was quite emotional for the both of. I'm filling up here. that was quite emotional for the both of us. No, it's just
No,
weird,
it is.
See, obviously, I was there when we filmed that scene, but I was talking to Rob and they had the cameraman who had to sprint after Zach with the camera, which was brilliant.
And also things never look like you think.
No.
There's a lot of the film is, well, where there's drone footage of Goodison from all different angles. And when you see it placed in it and how it is actually a really clever shot where the drone looks at Anfield, and you'll understand it if you watch it. But we were there that entire day at Goodison Park when he filmed that. We were in the executive box, and we were there the whole day, and we were in the company of Peter Reid and Andy Gray and Graham Sharp and Pat Van Den Au, and it was a surreal day. Snod's called in. It was a surreal day. And in the film, the footage that they captured is about a minute and a half of the film.
I know.
Or 2 minutes, it's tiny. But the drone footage is used all the way through, because obviously.
The drone's brilliant.
And we watched them, and I think we even spoke to the pilots, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was a couple, married couple, and they were like, yeah, we charge X amount, because when you watch the film, there's a lovely piece where they come over the Gladys Street, and they pull back from the stand to reveal the Howard Kendall stand, and you think, when we were watching them, and they had the little remote controls, and you think, these two people are just flying, and you think, the skill's unbelievable. That's why they do that as their job.
You know the siren and then Z cars. You know that Robert had that bit of footage with the siren and Z cars about a month before Everton decided to do it this season. So when Everton done it, he was a bit like, he was a bit gutted, but he was a bit like, no, it works even better now because we do it at the ground.
Yeah.
But when you hear that siren and then Z cars and you see the Howard, it is, you just go, and it makes you realise like Bramley Moor will be amazing, but it makes you realise what a special place Goodison is for us as Everton.
Yeah. What I loved about it as well was, I loved about how genuine the players were and how much they loved each other. To this day, I saw that last night at the gala, how much they loved each other.
The respect.
The respect. And what was respect? What I loved though, I loved the respect that everybody paid to Kevin Richardson and Alan Harper. And everyone was like, they were without them, Neville always says it, without them two, we've got nothing, because they're the soldiers. They're the people who come and fill in. You know, they all played in big games. They both played in the semi-final against Bayern Munich. Kevin Richardson plays in the FA Cup final against Watford. They were massive, massive players, and they're not players that you ever hear about anymore. I mean, obviously, Kevin Richardson went on and won the title with Arsenal and nearly won it with Villa as well. People forget that, and then but I always because I was young at the time, but
How nice was he, by the way?
Both of them were so nice.
Alan's, I've known Alan for years, and Alan Harper's never changed. I love him. I've never changed. Yeah. And you know what's great about Alan Harper is he's so unassuming. To be fair, most of them are. Do you know, there's big personalities.
Kevin Richardson was so. I think he was in awe. He was in awe of the attention.
Yeah, people people want.
And do you know what? I know what. No, it's annoying. And it's not annoying. It's not annoying, by the way. It's not annoying. But the same people always get credited. Well, the whole team gets credited, of course. What I mean is that only certain people sometimes get wheeled out when it comes to this team. And that's no fault of their own. It's because a lot of them are local people.
Access, isn't it?
And it's when you have nights like that, and you have the likes of Paul Bracewell, who people on, like in the film, people are like, this fella was absolutely amazing. Like, absolutely amazing footballer. You've got people like Richardson, and you've got people like, people like Alan Harper. And you never really, they're never around the club. So you never sort of get that link with them. And they live somewhere, they imagine, Alan's probably still local.
Alan's local, yeah.
So, but
Alan's never moved. Alan's always been around Walton. He's never moved. He
was in Egbert when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
Him and Daniel Amakati lived in the same close. True story.
There you go.
True story.
Some people will forget Alan was a youth coach at the club as well. And I used to play in the staff team with Alan Harper on a Friday night. What a footballer. Brilliant. But dead funny, but also dead unassuming. He'd make you a cup of tea. It was none of, you wouldn't, it's the kind of thing that you wouldn't see.
He's the kind of fella I'd love to get in here and have a good chat with.
He's boss, Alan. He's just getting him.
Yeah, that's it, and that's what I'm saying.
Rob's got his numbers.
But Kevin Richardson was like very, it was, I did see a couple of tears in their eyes of a few players. It wasn't just them, I seen Trevor Steven. Trevor's like he's an agent, been an agent for years, very, very smart man.
Yeah,
he says that in the film.
He knows what he is. Trevor.
Very clever man, very smart man, but I seen a little bit of emotion in him last night.
It must be unbelievable for them not to come back. I mean, I said, done a bit with Kevin Richardson, which
He'll go out, yeah.
But he was like, I'm an Evertonian.
Yeah.
Once a blue and all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an Evertonian. And Paul Bracewell said exactly the same. Now, Brace's worked at Sunderland, being at
Loads
Sunderland.
of times.
And, you know, played for them and everything. And he was like, I'm an Evertonian.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing makes you go, wow. But when you see them all together, you know, we had Deggsy in it. Deggsy's lovely. Derek Manfield is like, he reminds me so much of my uncle, but he's just he's a great fella. He never changed. There's no side to him. If he's pissed off, you know, don't you?
Oh, no, he tells you, doesn't he? He's not one of those fellas.
But he's great. But it's the fact that when you see them as a collective all together, and you said something last night, it was after it actually, you said that may be the last time we ever see all them together. Because you don't know why, for what reason, unless the club go, hang on, we actually do need to celebrate these fellas. Let's do this again or whatever.
See, that's an interesting point actually, though, because about celebrating them, because it's I'm not saying for the club, but I think there are occasions when some people say, for various things, right, that's enough now, you've had your moment,
yeah,
or because it's time to move on. And I think there are times like that where you're like, listen, we concentrate too much on the past now. But I still feel like with this team, and this is where I go back to the same old people get brought out because they're local. There's a lot of these fellas who don't get the attention, and that you know. And when I said that to you, I was more like saying, like, you know, Gary Stevens lives in Australia.
He's not coming back.
Trevor Stephen lives in Dubai.
But he does split. He has got an office in Unsung, so he is.
Yeah,
he's
but I think, you know, and then, so all right, for some people it's easier than others, but then there's people not there last night. You know, there was Agent Heath being in America. I was gutted actually.
Devastated.
No, old teammate of mine.
Might bring him in here,
yeah, and obviously
one notable
Kevin Rack. No, I'm not even gonna ask about saying this. He's a tiff for not being there.
Yeah.
No, genuine. I'm not even asked. I'm not asked about saying that. He's stupid. He's got a beef with someone. He's got a beef with somebody, right? Right?
Yeah.
But life's too short.
It is.
Life is too short.
It is. Just turn up and be with your teammates again, and if, you know, do it, because there's not going to be another night like this. There might be.
He was the captain as
well. There might be a night like this somewhere along, but I don't know. And, you know, you don't know what life throws up. I mean, you know, the question I asked everybody last night was, you know, there's one real notable absentee who's not around to see this film anymore. And it's obviously the gaffer. And everyone was like, you know, they love this, and they'd been, you know, this life. And because things can happen like that. So if you've got the opportunity as the most successful club captain ever.
I know. That annoyed me. That annoyed me. That really annoyed me, because Colin Harvey wasn't there either. But I imagine that's for... He's not well, or he's not, you know, whatever. You know, Mick Heaton isn't there because he passed away, you know.
But if you could have been there, you get there.
Exactly, and that annoyed me, that.
John Klinkard was there.
I know.
And he still looked
amazing.
I mean, he looks like a chuckle.
I know.
Well, he looks like the most handsome chuckle brother I've ever seen.
Listen, I don't want to make it a thing, but it just annoyed me, because he was the captain. No. He was the captain. And sometimes you just go, you know what, whatever, if I've got a beef with someone, we all have you know, we know what happens in life. You just put it to a side and go, do you know what? You just say, to, you know, do us a favour, don't make sure that I'm not on this, I'm not doing a bit with that person. And when we take a picture, I'll stand at the other end, and we move on.
Done, isn't it?
You have your own circles. I don't know. That was the one thing.
But as a film,
is.
You're right. It's fantastic the way it leads it through, and plays it through. But what you did see, and you can kind of link this to now, and I'm not saying it'll ever be the same, and this team will all of a sudden be amazing. But you forget that Howard was on his knees
you're
a
right.
few times, and players. We had Nev in the studio, and you know, I needed to dime here again because he was here that long, you know. But he was fantastic. But what he did say was, you know, a couple of players changed the history of Everton Football Club. He went, the rest of us were here, but a couple of players come in, and we went from being a team that was third, fourth, and bottom to winning the league within 18 months.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this.
No,
team
but
will
I understand what you're saying, and you know, a few little things can change, you know, and
look at Inchie. I mean, I absolutely love Aiden. He was tearing it up as the film shows.
Yeah.
He was scoring 11 league goals by December the 1st. No one else was near him. He just got the phone call for England. He was in the squad. Brian Marwood doesn't. Now Andy Gray, who is now held up, and I love Andy Gray as well, but if Aiden carries on, Andy Gray's big part.
No,
Does
exactly.
Andy Gray become, doesn't he get in?
No, exactly. That's it. And you're right. And I did what, but there was a couple of moments in it that I thought were really important. Colin Harvey talking about standards, being a winner every day in training, accepting nothing less.
Colin Harvey, I've had personal experience of training with Colin Harvey when I was at Everton. Fucking ruthless. Yeah. Ruthless. I was terrified of him. Yeah. As loads of lads were terrified.
Probably couldn't do that now.
No, he couldn't. No. But no, he wasn't. He wouldn't.
No, but like,
but he was still.
Can't even do that now.
But it was levels, though. Yeah. No, you're right. But it was levels, and you know why? He was still brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. So he must have been 80s. He'd have been like whatever, late 40s or something. Whatever. Absolutely brilliant. I remember him saying, "Our Kendall," when he'd become in as the player manager. Yeah. We were like, oh, he was the best player on the pitch. As the man. And when you've got someone who's got standards up there and has done it and can prove it and all that, as a player. Neville Southall said yesterday on this couch, said on the thing, said, if Everton needs to define a player and go, this is what it is to become an Everton player, and he said, the one person I would use is Colin Harvey.
Yeah. So I thought that was really important. And I also thought the moments that other people don't know about, Andy Gray coming in and Peter E coming in, leaders in the dressing room, proper leaders, where and Gary Stevens is saying this, innit, and Trevor Stevens saying it, they were all young, and they just needed someone in the battle with them. And, you know, Trevor actually said, he said, oh, I was a bit worried, you know, because I thought, I didn't talk for 6 months because I thought I'd be, you know, did take the mick and all that. He said, but we didn't. And then when they have those moments where you need, they say, you know, when we wanted to play, we played. When we needed to fight, we fighted. When those moments come, they were all there for each other, and those players would jump in. Kevin Sheedy.
Fair play to him.
He said all those players would jump in, and then, you know, you added the likes of Pat van der Now, who, you know, is
like the missed time tackle, Pat, didn't he?
Oh my God, those two tackles were amazing. That second one, first thing, I was just thinking, show this to a certain Everton captain.
Park.
That was naughty. I know you can't do stuff like that anymot, but there was stuff.
What about Ratcliffe running against Bayern?
But there's just stuff in there where you just like, I not that I want that generation, but I just want that attitude. I want that attitude.
One for all and all.
Yeah, I want that attitude, and I just.
Kendall.
There was a name that popped into my head immediately that plays for Everton at the moment, where I just went, yeah. No, but I did think, and you're right, I did think, you know what, it isn't always on the manager. It's up to the players. It's up to someone in the club, one of the players, to just go, doesn't matter who the manager is. This is us. We do this for us. And I know Nev preaches that quite a lot. And listen, there are different things about football, but sometimes footballers have just got to go, well, what do we want? What do we want to do?
What have I said to you and lots of times and to other people we've had in, is that when you have a game of footy, it doesn't matter if you're playing in the Premier League or you're playing in a Sunday or a Saturday or a Thursday night with your mates when you're not getting shouted at or shouting at other people. No. Right? Is that when you go out to play, it doesn't really matter what's going on. Exactly, your own standards, right? So if you've got a lad on the line going, Pet, well, you know, drop it, you're going to be going, yeah, but you're playing to your standards, right? So if Everton or any football, and a level is at Spurs in particular as well at the moment, the way things are going at the moment, right? The best teams will go out and play to their stand because it's about them. Yeah. Manager's great, but he's not playing a game. It's about them and this team. Yeah. When you hear them talking again, they love Kendall, they love him, they love Harvey and all that, but more importantly, it was on each other. They loved each other, but it was on each other. You seen in the film them going, you see Trevor Stevens talking about Bayern Munich, he said Peter Reid screaming, he said I couldn't hear because of the crowd, but I know, looking at his face, he's like, because I'm playing crap. And the final point I would say, you know, I'd say being winners, players doing it, knowing what they've got to do, but the other one was Kendall himself. Kendall had, you know, and I've seen this a few times, Kendall was a man who they all loved, but they were I wouldn't say they were a little bit scared of him. They respected him to the point where if they knocked on the door and they said, why aren't I playing?
And Harper and Richardson both said this, and he went, because of this, they just went, okay. Because that was it. He was the manager. He was the manager, and he was always consistent. And he did things the right way. So therefore, when he made the decision, everyone just respected his decision. Whether it meant they played in the team or not, they just went, fine, you're the manager. And that was it. He went away and just trained as hard. And the reason that he gave would be the reason why they would get in the team. And actually, as critical as I've been about the current manager, that's something I think he does tend to do. Is the training, and things have come up this week, but the training wise is all about standards and levels. I'm not for 1 minute sitting here going, it's all going to turn round. I'm just sitting here saying, if you're going to take things from this film is, you've got to have winners and those and leaders, leaders, and your manager's got to be whatever I say. That's where it stops, and that's it. And I think if you've got those things in place, other things can fall in place. I think if you haven't got those things in place, it'll never fall in place.
Of course, it's like anything good. You've got to have standards. Anything you do, you've got to have. We do this. We try to do the best we can do it. You're always looking to get better. If you're a footballer or a fellow working in an office or whatever, and you just want to go in and do enough, you're never going to improve. But if you never Southall, the final thing I'll say just on the player's desire is he would get in at 8 o'clock and dive around in a sandpit. Then he'd go and train, and then he'd go and do other stuff.
And then he'd cycle home.
And then or go to and get the train. Now, other players, I feel now, modern day players, it's just do enough. He said himself, it's those players, why don't they want to be the very best they can be? And it's all on them. But as a film, it's a great story. And if you
can see this I don't know whether it'll be available to see in cinemas, but if it comes,
it's in fact all week.
But I don't know if there's any more Q&As planned in the future. Hopefully, if Rob's watching this, this will be something Rob looks to do in the future. And again, it won't be easy, but if there are opportunities, because what's great, I mean, this is a story from a time, so if you can get those players, but please, if you're watching this, right, if you're an Evertonian, buy this for yourself. Buy this for whoever made you an Evertonian, whether it be your dad, your mum, your nan, your granddad, your sister, whatever. Buy it for them. And if you've got younger siblings who are Evertonians, buy it for them and show them that this is what Everton's all about.
Buy it for your kids.
Yeah, it really is. And anyone out there going, right, we've got to leave this behind. We've got to move on. No, we can't ever move on from this, right? You can't ever move on from this because this is the standard. So you can't...
This is the most successful Everton team ever. Yeah. So therefore, this is the standard that I hold Everton to. So when I go, we should be doing this, it's because this is my standard. This is my bar.
It's available, right? It's available like on the Sky Store. It's available on Amazon. It's available on loads of different places.
Digital download, DVDs.
But get the DVD because the DVD's got loads of extras on it, and it's got like half an hour edits of highlights of the 5-0 against Manchester United, and you ain't going to find that anywhere. So check it out. Make sure you get it. It's an amazing film. Thank you, Rob, for making it. Very proud of you, and very proud of Dave as well. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.